Hey, if you guys got any questions, post them in the chat and I'll try to answer them in the next 2 minutes and 30 seconds before we get started. Can everybody hear me okay? Daddy G, I listen to Rush, all the time, no exceptions. Thanks, Jeff. Three, two, one. Time to party. All right, welcome back to Indiana Diecast Racing and what's becoming home of the most massively, slightly above mediocre diecast racing tournaments. Tonight we're coming to you live from the Tricky Triangle, or I guess slightly above it since it's literally down in my basement. Tonight we'll be not only revealing but truly finding out which of the remaining 48 competitors will be facing each other in round 3. We're going on 3 months now, and the field of 173 cars has been whittled down to 48, which is actually still more than I think we typically see in an entire tournament. So before we jump to the wheel of names, I just want to say thank you again to everybody who submitted cars, as this would be a pretty lame event without you and your amazing stock and custom cars. As always, a huge thank you to Josh Poffler of Rust Belt Diecast Racing, who has helped me so many times with logos and graphics. And you might remember he made the start and finish tunnels for the plethora of party wagons, and those tunnels have now become an integral part of the triangle. I also want to thank Brian from Redline Derby for sponsoring some great prizes that'll be awarded at the end of the tournament, including a never opened faster than ever Chevy Nova and a special gold axle jig. Finally, everyone who's ever sent bits and pieces of track decoration, a kind note, sometimes even extra shipping money, it all helps out. And I also want to say, please don't forget, if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, shame on you, click that button now. All right. So bear with me as I move some things around. A couple shameless plugs. Just about to get kicked off. I think tomorrow night is the Summer Pro-Am hosted by Redline Derby. It's just getting underway. I think the pros are debuting tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern, and then the amateur teammates are airing Monday night. Both groups are hitting the Redline Derby track before heading to the Diecast Racing Report's Box Canyon track, then to Blue Line Racing's drag track, and then over here to Indiana to brave the Triangle. So be sure to check this out. I'm going to scroll down to the the list of entrants because I think you'll see a lot of similarities between a lot of the folks driving in the pro and amateur division and what we've got here in the sock up. So I know like G4, Arlo, DXP, and sorry if I'm not saying your name, but I think half the folks in this multi-track event are in the sock hop as well. So be sure to check that out tomorrow night. Then I'm getting a lot of messages asking me, hey, like, when's the next thing I can send cars to? So after I host my segment of the program in October, I know that seems like ages from now, but we'll probably only just barely get the sock hop done before then, is the House Cup, the Harry Potter themed tournament. Excuse me. Again, just like always, there's no limit to the number of entries. However, this particular tournament is going to be a charity race. So I'm asking, in addition to the money you send to get your car shipped back, it's a $5 per car entry fee. And all of that entry fee money will go directly to whichever charity wins. And that's kind of the cool part. The entries that get sent in, they need to be associated with one of the 4 Harry Potter houses, meaning if you're driving for Slytherin, your car needs to be green. And then depending on which Harry Potter house you're driving for, and if your car wins, that's which charity gets the money sent to them. Hopefully that makes sense. And then later this year, originally scheduled for December, and I'm still trying to make that happen, though if I get another 173 entries for the House Cup, that's probably not going to happen, is the Death Race. And in this one, it'll pretty much be any casting. Your car's just got to have a weapon on it, okay? So be sure to check both of those out over at Redline Derby. All right. So I think I've covered all the administrative stuff. Who would like to take a look at the Wheel of Names? All right. We're down to our final 48 competitors. I checked, I think, 3 times now to make sure all the cars and drivers have been entered into the wheel this time, so we don't have any issues like before. And you may or may not have seen that I posted on the Facebook page some statistics over the remaining 48. And if you take a look at this, like those pink highlighted names, those are the remaining second chance vote getters that were actually eliminated in round 1 and then got voted into round 2 and actually made it through to round 3 on Nothing But the Racing. So there's still 6 of them left. You can see the list of names here. It's sorted by cumulative points. So sure, those second chance vote guys are down at the bottom, but that's because they didn't score a lot of points the first round. It's probably also kind of interesting to note that out of, I think, the top 12 cars, 2/3 of them are 57 Chevys. So everybody else, you got a lot of work ahead of you. And only one driver so far has a perfect score, and that's Maureen. So good luck, everybody, beating her. All right. So let's go ahead and get started here. The first driver in group number 1 is Leo. Leo is the first driver, and you're going to get to see me and my amazing typing skills tonight. Let's see, where was Leo on here? Because I do want to say where he's from. He's from 50 Tree Racing. Obviously, he's driving that nice shiny blue 57 Chevy. Driver number 2 in group number 1 is Sam Hall, a shiny red 57 Chevy. And I should have put these names in alphabetical order, then you guys would have been much easier to find. Sam Hall is from DRT3K, also in the 57. So we got 2 57s right out the gate. Driver number 3 is going to be another 57 Chevy. That is Dangerous Dawn, and I don't have to look her up. She is from Vapor Racing. 3 57s going at it against Doc in his highly customized Ford Anglia from We Race Diecast. All right, so there's our first We Race Diecaster. I know there's a lot of them left. Moving on to Group 2. We've got Susan. Susan, I think, is from Fumo Diecast Racing. I'm going to look it up to make sure. Yep, she's from Fumo. And that, I don't know if you guys remember, but her car was pretty silly fast. All right, so a bunch of 57s. Oh, there's our first Nomad tonight, Mopar Mac from Mac Racing. Driver number 3 in group number 2. It's going to be Gray Wizard in his 57 Chevy entry. So there's another We Race diecaster. And driver number 4 is going to be Big Romy of Rivera Racing. And I don't know if you guys remember, but Big Romy is a second chancer. And he's the one driver that I would have picked to continue driving whether he got voted in or not, because man, did he get hosed by the finish funnel. All right, driver number 3. Ken Olson is another second chance driver who made it into round 3 from the Maker's Box. And he'll be going up against Katie. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but Katie is the only true truck remaining in the tournament out of all those trucks that were entered. So good luck to Katie from Poverty Hollow Racing. Driver number 3 is T-Flip. And T-Flip, I believe, is from Flipiak Performance Diecast. He's driving that awesome looking shoebox. And that thing is big and heavy. And driver number 4 in Group 3 is another second chancer, Lily the Dog. And I'm not saying anything about Lily, but Lily, you're kind of in the doghouse with cumulative points, so you better come out getting some points. All right, moving on to Group 4 is Robin in another shoebox. And I got to remind myself where Robin's coming from. Where are you, Robin? There you are, from DXP Racing. So Robin was the driver that I mistakenly switched out for someone else. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but I got it fixed. And she did race in round 2 like she was supposed to. And she's going up against Marty McFly in the DeLorean Time Machine. And I don't know if you guys connected the dots yet, but Marty McFly is actually Nick Devers. All right, driver number 3. It's the other Flip, the actual Flip, from Flips Racing in his Austin Healey named Sir Healey. So let's see, we got a shoebox, a DeLorean, and an Austin Healey. I'd be surprised if we didn't get a 57. And we don't. Josh D, my baby brother, driving his Corvette for Rose Valley Racing. And you can see that when I took the pictures, he still had his rubber wheels on there. That was switched out before we started the racing. Group number 5 in our only remaining 8 crate. And God, there had to have been a dozen 8 crates that were sent in. Rusty Meyer is the first driver in Group 5. And driver number 2 from RTR, I think he the only one of 2 remaining RTR drivers is Jason Paul in his Chevy Nomad. So we got an 8 crate and a Nomad in Group 5 so far. And there's another Nick Devers car, Nick Devers Caddy. I don't remember what kind of caddy that is, but that's what it is in my notes, is a caddy. So we had an 8 crate, a Nomad, a caddy, and another Nomad, but driven by Greek Freak of second-hand speed. Oh, let's put in Greek Freak. Alrighty. This is kind of crazy. We had a whole bunch of 57s right out of the gate, and then none for a little bit now. And speaking of the devil, Coral Rose from Transport Diecast Racing in her 57 is the first driver in group number 6. And I forget where she was. She's somewhere near the top. Yeah, she's towards the top in cumulative points there. And Coral Rose is going up against Rag Dog So we got a Transport Diecast versus We Race Diecast matchup here. Alrighty. And Oliver James is going up against Transport Diecast Racing teammate Coral Rose. I gotta believe we're gonna get another We Race Diecaster in here. Nope, apparently not. Terry, and I believe Terry's from Poverty Hollow. Yep, in her Nomads. We've got 2 Nomads and 2 Transport Diecast Racers. And in Group 7, it's Gray Wizard again, this time in his 55 Chevy. And I guess I better go back up here and write in that that's his 57. And I don't know if you guys remember, but this was the Best in Show vote winner. So congratulations again to Gray Wizard. Hey Scoop, how's it going? All right, going up against Gray Wizard's 55, and I gotta mention I think that's the only 55 left in the tournament, and it's Crazy Canuck in his Big Air Bel Air. Crazy Canuck, Big Air. All right. So we got a 55 and a Big Air going up against AC Pryor in like the tiniest remaining car in the tournament, and I believe AC's from DXP Racing as well in that little, I think 55 Corvette. And Hey, I think also from Rivera Racing is, not Hey Harry, Hey. Alrighty, so that should be an interesting group. I'm kind of thinking right now, though, Group 6 is going to be like the group of death. Any one of those drivers could come out winning that one. Group 8, Remy 12 gauge, and also from Flips Racing. I would not want to be up against this guy in this group, so good luck to the next 3 drivers. And it's going to be Michael Motorcycle in his Corvette. And where is he? Also from DRT 3K. So that team's got a few drivers left in this thing. And Sneaky Bob, who was a second chance vote winner, who then came in and, if I'm remembering right, stomped his competition in round 2. So Remy and Sneaky Bob are both going to be tough to beat in this group. Against Easton, and I believe Easton is from Cash Money Boys. Let's see, where's Easton? Yep, Cash Money. So 357s and a Corvette in Group 8. Yeah, and Scoop, there's actually 2 Bel Airs remaining in the tournament. I couldn't believe it. All right, so Big Al from Big Al's Diecast is the first driver in Group number 9 in Slant 16. He'll be going up against Dee. And where did Dee go? Oh, that's kind of funny. Dee is also from Big Al's Diecast, so we've got another intra-team competition going on here. We'll be adding Amber Beach, so we got 3 57s from Flips Racing. Can we get a 4th 57? We can. Slam and Sammy, and Slam and Sammy is Hot Wheels Skunk Works. That was hard to say while I was typing the name at the same time. So Group 9, the first and probably going to be the only group with nothing but 57 Chevys. Yeah, Big Al, indeed. Yep. All right, first driver of Group 10, Barb D. So she's technically driving for Indiana Diecast Racing, but she is driving what I think is the only remaining entry provided by G4 Diecast Racing. So I'm guessing I know who Daddy G is rooting for. And she's going up against Blue Jean Betty from Rust Belt Diecast Racing. Coincidentally, I think the 2 of these raced together in round 2, so they get a grudge match again in round 3. And the two of them kind of ran away with their group. That should be interesting. And we get our third woman driver in group number 10, Maria, driving that. I think that's the only remaining Hudson Hornet as well. And you might remember that Maria did particularly well in, what was it? I think the IDR Open last year. All right. Let's see. Angry Mo. How much you want to bet Angry Mo is going to be in this group? Oh, okay. I was wrong. Okay. So Arlo from Arlo Diecast in his one of two Decepticon entries, and I think that 57 T-Bird is the only T-Bird remaining in the tournament. T-Birds were fast, but man, they had a lot of trouble not wrecking. Okay, hopefully there's 8 drivers left on the wheel because we're down to the final 8. There's Don D from Hole-in-One Motorsports driving his Belvedere. This was the first official entry in the tournament. Entered, 11 months ago. Yeah, Ladies Night. Ladies Night and Arlo. There's Angry Mo. By that I mean Maureen. And remind me, where is she? Maureen, also from Arlo Diecast. So we missed having another intra-team showdown going there. And another We Race Diecaster. So DJ is joining that group in his Nomad. And there's the other Big Air. So Cody Irons is anchoring this group in his Big Air. So we got a Belvedere, a 57, a Nomad, and a Big Air Bel Air. Well, I think we know who's going to be in Group 12. There's Dribbly Bob. Where was Dribbly Bob from? Oh, yeah, Dribbly Bob is an independent in a lead sled. I love that. I think that's a McDonald's casting, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, that's right, Arlo, the villain of the Sock Cop Slam. Yep. And Dave from We Race Diecast is going up against Dribbly Bob. And then we've got Jimmy John from Silverback Racing. So what is that, a lead sled? And we're going to have 3 57s in the final group. And Marcus Firegone. And I think if I go up to the cumulative scores, so Marcus very quietly has put together a near perfect score of 30 points. So well done to Marcus. You may also notice that there's not a whole lot of independent drivers remaining on this list. It's down to pretty much the folks from teams. Well, that's it, folks. I think this time I actually remembered to get everybody on the list. We've gone through the entire wheel, and I think we've filled up all 12 groups. So we'll get started on that as soon as we can. And, this has been Jim D for Indiana Diecast Racing. Be sure to check in next time for another slightly above mediocre diecast racing event when we get kicked off with round 3 of the Sock Hop Slam. Alrighty, that's all for me tonight. I will see you guys on YouTube. Have a good night.